live sending of the Killer Cats podcast. We're here with KP and Intoxicated, ready to talk about some of the horrific events and series that have been going on all along. Lately, you're three cranky women with too much to rant about, and we also got a bit of metal news for you today, as you might expect. Today to speak is somebody else than me because I am very sick and I'm trying to save my breath. So I will do KP to start with her
Okay.
metal news for today. What do you have for us?
Well, I found this article, and it was written by this woman called Christy Love from the Houston Press, from Houston, Texas. And the article's name was "Metal's Problem with Women is Not Going Away Anytime Soon." And never listened to metal in her life. She basically says that she almost, how can I put this? She kind of harkens back to when women were used for sexual purposes. Most lyrics were written about rape and whatever, women were only used for that. And she claims that that's all women are still used for, and that they're mocked when they go to metal shows and they're not given respect. And it made me want to punch her in the throat because I've never had that problem going to a show. Um, I've never been groped, grabbed. That's basically what she's making it sound like, is that it's just a big sausage fest with all these guys, and that guys don't give women any respect. And then she talked about female-fronted in bands, and she was like, "Can you even name any bands with girls in them? Whatever." And it's like, well, yeah, actually, I can. And I don't necessarily listen to those bands because I don't like those bands, but I can name. And yeah, this article pissed me off so bad. And then on the flip side, there was the article that came out today from the guy from Apple Music, who said that girls have a hard time finding music. And oh, sorry, I've been like napping off and on all day because I had maintenance guys in my house all day.
Well, you
But
you mean the Jimmy Iovine article?
very believes finding music is very difficult for women, and the way he came misogynistic, and it was like what was he quoted as saying, that girls sit around talking about boys instead of uh, every girl, and that's what is to help them find music. And it was like, what? And he was on the CBS morning show or something. There's video of him, and the article that I read, it actually has a picture of Captain. What the fuck, dude? You just totally, what the hell is wrong with you? That was just the wrong thing to say. And then Nellie and I were talking earlier. She brought up a good point that men will go more for something that sounds like something they already like, where women will want something more specific when they're looking for music.
I
So
kind of
that's what I talk about.
I kind of like I agree with Jimmy Iovine on the topic. It actually, for at least for many people that I know, many women that I know, we are much more selective. We don't like just go for the music that's the black metal. We go like, I'd like to listen to this and this kind of black metal with this and this kind of vocals, and then maybe we are more emotional and try to find like that's most suited for just that emotion instead of just like being okay with whatever that's even close to what we think we want to listen. That
Right.
Iovine's point was a bit it was like I know it was a live interview, but maybe he just was, as far as I know, this guy, well, I used to work with him, and he does know what he's talking about, and he also knows his metal and all. That's that considering I can kind of like understand that you would need a better system to get that music taste, getting your service to match that taste. Because, for example, Spotify, you got some of those playlists and they suck. When I go to that kind of playlist, it's kind of like the new dance hits. Well, what the fuck am I gonna get out of that one? I waited for a mellow morning when I just haven't quite woken up yet. That kind of thing. I mean, it's more exquisite. Maybe you think, Katie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what he's saying, and not just in metal too. When I was
Right.
reading it, I was kind of like
And that's
looking outwards, and a lot of chicks sometimes either can't find music that they like, or they just gravitate towards like whatever's like the pop thing, which bothers me. But hey, as far as like the music that's written to be catchy that everybody likes and has the same lyrics for the entire song. And that's just because I started working in retail again, so I have to listen to it. But as far as metal goes, I do agree with you, Nelly, that that there's Jack and Coke in this, not in coffee. So now I'm just lost, as always. I had a thought. I should have written it down. It was about what you were talking about before, Chrissy, about Sausage Fest and like all that stuff. Okay, that's where it was. What was the article that you had read exactly? I'm sorry.
It was called, let me go back to it real quick.
Sorry.
Where is it? Trying to keep my stuff here. Metal's problem with women is not going away anytime soon.
Right. So it was interesting that you brought that up, because a couple months ago, Neil from Krieg had actually written something for Decibel, and it was a similar article about how a lot of metal shows just like treat women like shit and like how they've been groped and all this stuff. And it erupted this huge thing where half of the internet's women were like, oh, fuck that doesn't happen, blah, 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 blah. And then the other half was like, no, actually, this does happen, and, like, I've had this, and this happen. And he got a bunch of shit for, signing with the people who had dealt with it, and, like, I don't know. It was interesting to watch on Facebook. I had my popcorn at the ready. But it is true. I mean, there's been times where I've been fine, but there's been other times where you actually start talking to a dude about music, and then all of a sudden they're just like, I'm just going to grab your tits. Whoa.
See, I've
Me talking
never
to-
had that happen.
You see, you're lucky. Actually, the first time I ever went to go see Mayhem, that happened, and it was really awkward. Because months later, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Yeah, I went to this Mayhem show, and it was awesome, but the only thing I really remember is looking over and some chick just getting motorboated, like, completely randomly, and she looked so mad." And I'm just sitting there like,
It's me!
that was me. And I punched him. So it does happen,
Wow,
and it just like, I don't know, it's weird. I think now that it's been like out, there's been multiple articles about it. I think some dudes are like, no, fuck that shit. If they see it happen, they either help the chick or the chick decides to punch them in the face. Or that whole situation with Diafago and Diafago punching the chick in the face. Anyways,
yeah, I'm just I've seen that we have who's here, and just wanna apologize to them that if we are breaking up, it's because of the system. It's not because of our gear. So if we seem that we are breaking up,
yeah, I actually lost you guys for a minute while Katie was talking. The whole thing just gone.
So in that case, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna be uploading to the YouTube channel as well, and hoping that iTunes is gonna take us back, because we were, as some of you might have noticed, we've been not allowed because we are not that explicit, but according to iTunes we are. So, but getting back to the topic, where I come from, the population and their metal liking is so different that or women than men, which means that I've hardly ever encountered the boob problem or the sexist problems. When I that the women are actually the majority, and we are treated as such, so we don't go there. So maybe maybe they come from a culture that's more on the chauvinistic side, probably. So it brings to mind the other article that was out and about in the internet recently, a real study made in a university. He says that all of folk and pagan metal is just chauvinistic white power music, which is kind of like, excuse me, that folk metal and pagan metal, that all of it just, oppresses women and is like music. And the whole thesis just makes you go, what? Because, it's on the internet. I'm going to post the link because it's really fun to read. It doesn't make any freaking sense. But yeah, here's all to the folk metal bands that sing about their ancestors and about pagan habits that you're a... No, you're not. We know you're not. Those women who made the thesis, they should really... Where did your problems actually start? Did you have a really, really bad relationship with your dad?
I remember seeing that article as well and just thinking, like,
I think,
what?
Yeah, it's completely what? And it really makes you... There's one in on that like thesis, and you just kind of feel sad for the guy after you read this. It's kind of like, how exactly did you end up with these women? Really, like, are you okay? I want to hug you. Yeah, that was my 5 cents to the academic field of metal. It sucks. People try and do better. There's actually thesis connecting metal to other things academically, and that's the thesis made by Ike Will of Babylon Whores. Banks metal and the occult and devil worship, and actually like pays attention to what elements those and even the likes of Black Sabbath and Dio, where did they take their influences from? How are they linked to the real writings about how are they related to fables and all that? That kind of academic studies with metal I appreciate. So how did they write this thing? So that's good, but leave this chauvinistic Nazi shit, leave it out from metal.
Agreed.
It's got its own place that we listen to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, from talking about white power, we'll talk about now about some other kinds of power. The power of the Islamistic State
Ugh.
in Paris last week. Something that some people say was, well, some see any attention to what these fuckers did in Lebanon and shit, but you just got, you just notice it when it happens in the Western world. In Paris was terrible. There was not just one place where people died last week, several places, but of course, because we are rock and metal people, the thing that happened at the Bataclan was the worst for us because it touched us more than things. We actually lost people that we knew. And when things hit home, of course, we think a bit differently about it. What did you think, Chrissy, of what happened?
I was shocked. Well, the news hit me a lot later because I was, I work nights and I was sleeping, and then I woke up and it was like I went to a show, and as I was sitting at the show, the news was coming up on my phone, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, And I was glad I went to that show, even though it was just a small local show. It was like, I'm at a fucking show. Fuckers tell me that I can't go to a show because they don't like it. Even though, like I said, it's just a small local show, and I'm just going to keep doing things that I like to do, whether they like it or not. And as much as I hate what they did to those people died doing freedom. And it's horrible. It's horrible that had to happen, but they died doing what they love. And they died, with that every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this isn't. The United States isn't. And it just, I don't know. It brings out part of my xenophobic kind of. Why not? And there was the terror attack, and that they said we will not surrender to what these people did. So that's fucking awesome. I think it would be hard to go to a show there after that, but I think it's awesome that they're gonna keep it on. So
yeah,
absolutely.
It's a venue with a lot of tradition. What do you think, Katie?
It was hard to watch all of that stuff. As you guys know, I was in Seattle, and I was walking around, and my mom had texted me from the hotel. She told me what had happened, and I instantly freaked out, just because I didn't know, what was going on. We were so many hours behind, and all I got was a text saying there was, a bombing at a metal show in Paris, and I just instantly thought of, everybody who was recently there, and everybody on tour now and everything. I just like panicked and literally ran back to the hotel. Um, and to touch on what you said, Nelly, about how a lot of people were like, oh, like you guys don't care about what happens every day here, here, and here. I instantly thought back to what happened here in Boston a couple years ago at the marathon. We've never had any type of attack at our home city, and they bombed the Boston Marathon. And nowhere near as many people died than it did in Paris, but there was like a small kid and like a bunch of people got injured and everything.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we
Boston
took that
was
hard. Like, it's something that never happened here, so it was really close to home, and I could see that affecting everybody in Paris from posts and everything. But as you said, this happened during something we could relate to. Again, I was in Seattle, and I was like in that environment when I was on tour, and I couldn't even imagine being there working and that happening. So I was just like distraught. I was literally like in tears watching this. But to see how the people of Paris have reacted, and they're angry, and they're out in the streets, and they're not being held by fear. Cheers to all of you. You're amazing.
yeah.
We did the same thing. We shut down the city to look for those motherfuckers. And in Paris and the rest of France are doing the same thing. And if I had the ability to go join you, I would. Because, you know, fuck this shit. You do not just...
You don't attack rock and metal. You don't go to our turf. It's just
And it's not just that too.
not
It's
a
like
fair.
you don't attack the music, but you also try to attack people going out and having fun. Like there was the cafe, it was the soccer game and everything. So it's like, just because your religion sucks, okay, and you can't enjoy anything fun,
Yep.
don't fucking bomb all of this other shit. Like, but at the same time, I can't really say anything because there's certain people who like to burn down churches a couple years ago. But that's
Yeah, but
not nearly as bad because it's like you didn't hurt anybody. You didn't go out. You didn't physically kill anybody.
well, if
Well,
you actually
okay,
go into that,
yes. So
but I know what you mean. I know what you mean with it wasn't a massacre. It was nothing like that.
exactly. So it's and that's been difficult too because I've been seeing a lot of people post like if you're supporting France, then you're not actually supporting how much you hate life. And I'm like, that's not how this works.
And
It's not
like
how any of this works.
there's been like some backlash also to the bands that afterwards, like there's this article going around that's been quoted in many places as well, saying that U2 did the worst thing ever by not playing afterwards because the difference by just playing this big show, even though they are like in danger and stuff. Like
But they
U2
couldn't.
has wrong.
They, as much as I don't like U2, I was reading that they couldn't even get in to play that show.
Here's the thing,
That
I
the borders
because
were
I
blocked
have
and all
I
that.
have a lot of contact with the bigger bands, metal bands, and even so the so-called bands. And the thing actually is that everybody, the French government, had said that no public gathering till at least like the first date that was even remotely possible was the 19th, and they to everybody in France. Like all the venues, all the bars, all the clubs, nobody could do anything until they heard more. This wasn't actually U2, it was France who had forbidden this from everybody.
Right.
All the bands who were on tour, they all got the same message. Like, if you have a gig on the 19th or before that, you're not gonna play. If you have a gig on the 19th or able to play, but we're not gonna be able to tell you before the 19th. And of course, U2 had to cancel. They had no. And as far as other bands go, there were some bands who, like, it hung in the balance. Like, it might not happen, and not knowing and maybe then losing money because it costs money every day that you're on the road. Some bands cancelled the whole leg of the tour. Some did, but some did, and on the 19th they got a green light. So many bands could have played, but they had already cancelled because of economical reasons. So don't blame the government. I mean, they were forced. This is
Right.
nothing that they could affect. Blame the Yes, you can blame those damn motherfuckers. So, just my 5
Yep.
cents.
Just realized we should have gotten Frankson in on this phone call because he hates them publicly more than anybody on Facebook. And I love reading his posts about how much everybody sucks. Him and his girlfriend are like superheroes in that aspect. Like, now I'm gonna have to message him later. Be like, I fucked up. I should have had you on. Speaking of live shows in Paris afterwards, I saw Tony post a video of the Norwegian Shining in France. Were they one of the ones that played that day, or was that a video from like before all of this happened?
Video from just a few days ago. They actually had the same light technician as the Swedish Shining. I saw
that must get kind of confusing sometimes.
Oh yes, fun.
Yeah, at first I was like, wait, they're in Germany. Why did they go to Paris? Oh wait, that's Norway. Never mind.
They were in France, and the other one was in Germany, so that was cool. I think that today,
this morning,
we're gonna cut this video casting short because of our technical problems with the Google servers. So I think there are shoutouts right now, and we're gonna talk more about the horror series later in our next video cast next week, coming and current in the world of horror TV. So let's go to our shoutouts. Chrissy, what do you have for us today?
I have. I hope I don't pronounce this wrong, but Nordevil. I think I said that right.
Yeah, that's
from Norway.
Right.
Is it right? Yes. Nordevil, and they are getting ready to put their new album out. Their artwork and stuff just came out a couple days, maybe about a week ago, and yeah, the details and all the artwork came out. And for their upcoming full-length album, they are under Patricia Thomas's band management, and very excited. I've seen the teaser video, and they sound kick-ass. And yeah, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce some of their track names because I'm horrible with the Norwegian. But if you can, check them out. It's Nordjevel, and they have a Facebook page, and
it's sort of like
they're on SoundCloud.
North Jewel, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
And yeah. And they are on YouTube also, and they're just if you like black metal, they're great. They're melodic and just fucking heavy, and I love them, and I'm excited for this new album to come out. So they're new and fresh, and yeah. So that's my shout out since we're cutting it short. So check them out.
Katie.
Nice. All right, so my shoutouts is normally going to be from New England. The Metal Cage, which is, I guess, an online metal news thing around here. They're putting out their 6th compilation of true New England black metal, which we get some shit for, but whatever. It's a really good collection so far. Lord Almighty, Graveside Service, Malakath, Murrum's on there, Sire, a couple other ones. They are taking submissions to try to get in on this until January 24th, and they will be releasing it via the Metal Cage net label sites on archive.org and Bandcamp on February 9th, which I realize is way far away. I thought it was originally December 20th until I was reading this press release. But anyways, so to bands out there, if you want to try to get on that, go check it out, because Malakath and Murrum are my 2 favorites. I'm so biased when it comes to that. Anyways, check it out. Black Metal Warfare Tour next week.
Sorry.
I think Nello
So
just got
good luck.
attacked.
That was my shout out to Black Metal Warfare. So if I've also asthma. So
Yeah,
if you still have time, go and check it out, because you don't want to miss Mortain or Mayhem or Rotting Christ. They rock. My shout out
I'll
this
be in
week.
New York.
Hated Pelle from me. But my shout out this week goes to this very kind of non-metal. Well, he's. If you haven't seen his latest video that came out yesterday, go and see it. It's a 10-minute, very psychedelic masterpiece, and it's no reference to the amplifier. It's I don't know what it's a reference to, but it's. I'll go and check his new video out. It's Black Star is now. It's out on YouTube on his Vivo channel. So David Bowie and Black Star are still a genius and still a madman. So highly recommended. That was all of our shout-outs for this week. Sure you tune in next week as well, as we will be talking about the new horror series, what's to come, what's on now, our other topics as well. So be sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/KillerCatsCrew, and our website, KillerCats Crew. This is Nello signing out. Bye-bye.
This is KP. Toodles. Thanks for watching.
And as always, this is Intoxicating. Cheers.
Hey, hey.